All right, folks, it is 8 o'clock p.m. and tonight, this here is the Hodgepodge live stream. And once again, it's me. It's that VINCE. I hope you folks doing well. Hey, that guy, Danny, Bro Team. Yes, I actually did my first live stream on my phone, and I did subsequent live streams using my phone just as well. I still have the same tripod and setup. It's just that I have Streamlabs on my phone now. So this will be just a regular Q&A. As you guys heard, ran out of data, and despite my best efforts, Verizon's a bunch of idiots. You know, they've gotten rid of all of their U.S. workers, so speaking with them is like talking to a rock, you know. And, of course, Cricket, you know, I can't go yell at them since I'm probably going to be working for them next week, so. That's depending on what, for the most part, I think it's going to be $10, but I just got to see all the other stipulations and stuff. You know, just to make sure it's going to be a right fit for me, as well as not interfere with any of my live streams or anything. But tonight I have a Flor de Olivia cigar. That's one thing that a live stream can't beat. At least cigars are not electrically powered. And I have coffee, no alcohol. Probably that one, but there's a bunch of other Cricket stores. It's actually a franchise, Suncom, that I would be working for. It wouldn't be Cricket Wireless, it would be the franchise, which would be Sun.com. So, all of them are franchises. But I'm not going to manage it, I'm just going to be, like, in sales and stuff. But hey, work is work, folks, you know. Gots to pay the bills. I mean, I do well with the passive income, but, you know, I want to buy another house other than the mobile home next year. And so that means I do have to have some sort of job, because that way it shows up better on the credit report. Yeah, we're going to definitely talk about that. I saw McCluck's video, and it's just kind of sad how everything is happening. And what I should educate Big Lenny on is the fact that, you know, even if it's a funeral, based on the things that were said, that's not something that you can... That's not something that's going to be settled very easily. He's going to have to do a lot more in order to alleviate that. I mean, that's just not gonna go away with just you know, being at a funeral. It may be a good time to meet up with someone, but it's also probably not the time to go and settle things. But I certainly hope they work things out somehow. Because with them arguing, you know, there's no chance of seeing, you know, Delray Misfits show again, you know, and stuff. So it really affects that. But folks, let me know in the comments below, what are you drinking and what are you smoking? Even if I got commissions, it would be very low. I mean, we're talking about prepaid phones. And considering the fact that an assistant store manager makes $13 an hour, I don't have any hopes up too much as far as to commission is concerned. I'm not really worried about it. I just need to have the biggest thing is that I have to have some sort of employment on my credit records, so that way I can get a house. So, it may be in Simpsonville actually. There's Piedmont's a very small area, so there's not many open houses that are around. And the houses are around, anything outside of Piedmont, I'm going to be a lot further from downtown Greenville. So it's not going to exactly work out in my best interest. I'd be buying another piece of property, but I can also sell this property as well. It wouldn't be no problem selling this. But let's go ahead and get lit up. Like I said, this will be a classic, pretty much a classic old school show, a Q&A. Sort of like yesterday. The issue isn't so much as the money. In order to use your business on a credit loan, you have to have at least 2 years of income, reported income doing it full time, which means I'd have to wait another year. Yeah, I am one person, but got to keep things going, Be good to get out of the house anyway, so, even though I already go out a bunch. I will never have roommates ever again, Ryan. Already been through that. No roommates. Roommates can be the worst. They can be the worst. Your pool is above ground? What are you talking about, KCB? I don't have a pool. Are you talking to somebody else? I won't be tacking on debt or anything, trust me. No, I'm going to hit up everybody. Palumbo. I'll mainly be coming to go see Aaron, see how he's doing. But, yeah, I'll check everybody else out, of course. I do love my house here, KCB. But the way the housing market is going, it's gonna be a good time to buy one. So we're going to see. Even if I don't buy one, KCB, it's always important to put yourself in the best position possible. And don't forget, anytime, even though I make plans, plans are always there to change, I mean, I have intentions of working for them, but that doesn't mean that it can't happen. There may be something that comes along that I read on there, and I'm like, hey, wait a minute, Be like Fonzie, like, hey. I'm not going to be seeking out any supervisory positions or anything. Not going to do that at all. Non-negotiable. If I started doing that, then I definitely wouldn't be able to do live streams because I would have to dedicate myself to that particular task, you know, and take on the responsibilities. I mean, I could do the job, but if it interferes with what I'm doing now, then I would end up losing money. Yeah, I see that Lenny did go live. I have the screens in place. I have the screens in place in my face. I can see and observe all. Those houses are not worth it, KCB. And here's the reason. You see all these good houses at low prices, 1 penny and stuff? Even if you fix them up, the value of the house is still going to be pretty low because when it comes to the value of the house, it's always about location, location, location. You can have a mansion, but if it's in Dumpwater, Louisiana, it's worthless because nobody's going to buy it because nobody wants to live there. You know? It's sort of like that Chicago urban improvement program where they'll sell you one of those places for $1, but then you got to fix it up. But then you got to find someone that wants to live in one of those shithole cities here to begin with, or at least that side of the city. Let's see what Lenny is actually doing and talking about.
If you don't mind, Dad.
Lenny's walking downtown from what it looks like.
Right here. Over here.
Hopefully Lenny stays out of trouble. Yeah, West Virginia is bad. I don't drive through West Virginia because they pretty much got toll roads everywhere. I mean, so if I'm ever headed up to Ohio, I go and bypass West Virginia. Ew. I hope not neither. He needs to stay clean because that's part of the reason why, you know, him and Brad had that outing. Drugs always messes things up in a situation. Well, the issue with West Virginia is they held on to the coal market until the very end. Instead of inviting in new businesses and stuff, they just stuck with coal. You know, West Virginia could have had solar and wind agreements, but no, it's a very conservative state. They don't want no solar, they don't want wind. There's been proposals there before for that in renewable energies. What can you do, really? States have to be business friendly. That's why people are getting the hell out. That's why a lot of businesses are getting the hell out of California because of that. West Virginia can recover if they start becoming business friendly, but they need to quit holding on to coal. Coal is over with. They've mined out practically all the coal. There's only a very little left. I got a friend that lives on Norfolk, down on the beach in Virginia Beach. I got to go visit him soon. If my state government wasn't so anti-business, NY would be the... It's not just business that, they got to not only attract themselves to business, but they got to take care of crime rates. California's issue is crime rates. Crime rates are horrible in these places, and businesses are not going to set up if everyone's going to break in and take their shit, I mean, really, it isn't. Looks like Lenny's live stream's cutting out a little bit. Yeah, in those areas, there's no crime whatsoever. So, yeah, wine's always been popular. Wine's going to get a lot more popular here in South Carolina, KCB. The reason being is these liquor licenses are outrageous. The insurance for selling liquor is outrageous. They already closed Smiley's in downtown Greenville, and that was a mainstay for like decades. So a lot of people instead are opening up beer and wine bars because, which is a lot less expensive to open up. They don't have to have a liquor license, and they can pretty much do mostly everything. What's up, Angel? How you doing there tonight? This is a Hodge Podge live stream. No React videos because no data. So we're streaming off as a telephone. But folks, this won't happen again. Like I said, we had a couple of extra live streams this month, which is why we ran out. But I can assure you that won't happen again. Well, KCB, it doesn't matter how much wine costs. It's all about the flavor and the taste, as well as the marketing behind it. It's just like beer, for example. Take lessons from Bud Light as far as marketing is concerned. If you have good marketing, it's not going to matter how much it costs, Take, for example, also Rolex. How many advertisements do you see for Rolex? 0. Rolex doesn't advertise. Why do people want Rolex? They've made it to the point to where they are high quality to where they don't have to advertise. You'll never see Rolex run a television commercial, or hardly they would ever run one. Trump is looking evil in that mugshot, but I've seen the rest of those mugshots. They got some crazy looking Diana Ross woman there. They even arrested that Lutheran pastor. It looks like they got everyone. You know, the only one that's actually in jail is the black guy, Harrison Floyd. They've not even set bond for him, so he's sitting in jail right now. The only person sitting in jail, everyone else has gotten a bond. He hasn't got a bond, so he's been sitting in jail for like 2 days. But as expected, Trump's support has gone up. So this whole thing has done backfired for the most part. And then they're trying to get the trial started on October 23rd. You can't go through 93,000 pages in 2 months. I mean, literally. They should push that back. Timex is a pretty good company as far as watches are concerned. They have a good price point. You know, they sell what they sell and they have good marketing. They don't go off the hinges with other social justice shit, you know. Well, KCB, my favorite Merlot is Radius. It's not an expensive bottle. It's like $12. It's probably the best Merlot out there, in my opinion. I mean, they sell a ton of it at Total Wine and More, and I can see why. It's just an awesome Merlot. You don't have to spend a fortune for good wine. Do I think it's worth investing in real estate in Italy? Probably not. Not unless you have if you have Italy citizenship, or if you have friends and family that have citizenship. You know, otherwise it would be difficult for you to even buy, and it'd be even more difficult to sell it. Well, KCB, you have to be reasonable as far as the price is concerned. I mean, and not only that, I don't even think it. I think it could beat a $5,000 bottle. Most expensive wine I've ever had was about $200 a glass. I didn't pay for it, obviously. I was at a soiree. And you know what? It wasn't anything special. It really wasn't. The Zapata podcast, it would all depend. It really would. Well, KCB, I don't drink much wine or so forth. It's just that, you know, you have to have a red wine when you're having any type of red meat or steak or spaghetti or something. And I don't want Ziff, and I don't want any other Pinot Noir or so. I probably pronounced it wrong. Boy, Lenny's live stream's messing up. Oh, I'm in South Carolina. Well, white wine should only be reserved for something like seafood. There's a couple of good brands. And Aldi has some pretty good brands. I mean, they always have some good brands out there. I think Asa is wasting his time as far as running for president. He's wasting his time. I mean, and the people have already spoken as far as he's concerned. He's not even really polling. I don't even know how he got on the debate stage. Maybe he found a golden ticket in a Cracker Jack box or something. My ceiling price on wine is like $100. But it's been many years since I've bought wine that was $100. He's going to get ahead even further now with that mugshot and everything. You know, he's actually put that mugshot on T-shirts and he's selling it out. You know. No, Behringer's is a horrible wine. Don't get that. Yeah, Asa needs to get off the stage. You can't say someone is good and then say we need to move in a different direction. That's just trying to play both sides of the fence. You're either with Trump or you're not with Trump, you know? You're either on the train or you're not on the train, period. Non-negotiable. Yes, that is true, but again, it's all about the flavor of it as far as the blends are concerned. But with each different country, it's sort of like cigars. You know, this is a Dominican one, so this one's going to have a different flavor profile than a cigar that has Nicaraguan tobacco. Guilt or innocence isn't going to matter. If he's on the poll, that's going to be it, you know. I'm not voting for Biden there if you're... What I'm going to do, folks, is I'm going to do what's best for this country, you know. Move things back the way that things are. Get all this garbage out of schools and everything. Now, if you think that's sounding funny from someone that's gay like me, you know, it actually hurts. It actually hurts the LGBTQ community when you do things like that. I mean, take a look at that power lifter. Now, the women's powerlifting record stood for 19 years. Then all of a sudden, someone comes along, you know, has never even been powerlifting ever before. Breaks the record by 90 freaking pounds. What does that tell you, folks? You know? I mean, I don't mind schools teaching sex ed, but it needs to be age appropriate. And it needs to be with the consent of the parent. This shouldn't be fed into elementary schools and middle schools. You know? They're not smart enough. They're not. Their minds are. They don't have the mentality to understand sexual relations whatsoever. Love is a strong word, Andy, and a little effeminate, to be honest with you. Would I date Chris Christie? No, he's too fat. He's fat. Sean G didn't say that. He double speaks anyway. It would take twice as long for him to answer the question. So he would only have 60 seconds to answer a question, which technically means he only has 30 seconds since he says things twice. Just saying. Well, of course, KCB, cigars were a lot more prominent in the 50s and 60s. More people smoked cigars in that era, and then cigars died out once cigarettes were in place, and now cigarettes are dying out in place of vaping. Bet you did, ZX. What happened to Scott leaving? I don't know. No clue. It won't be tonight. We'll have to do a... I'm probably going to do a back-to-back react just to make up for this day or so forth. I did have a shiny suit one time, actually, Scatman, back in the late 90s. That was a style for black men, you know, to wear that type of stuff to the club. You know, black leather jacket, black leather pants, you know, boots, baggy leather pants, you know, gold chain. I had a silver chain around my neck, actually, you know. And, of course, I had perm in my hair was all permed up and stuff, you know. All nice and wavy. When I did have hair. Using some of that Dukes. I don't like big cigars. The biggest I've ever smoked was a Churchill. I mainly smoke Robustos and Picuaros. I am the Surgeon General. No blanket because I'm not working. I'm done for the day. We'll debate again one day. Honestly, we could debate tonight, actually. No, KCB. They couldn't blow out the pallet, even with 6 a day. That is a lot of cigars, but Michael Jordan actually smokes like 6 to 8 a day. He did, Justin? You should have waved at him. Yeah, Andy, Richard Overton. He not only smoked 12 cigars a day, but he also had whiskey stiffened coffee. He put a lot of whiskey in his coffee. And shotguns. He shot the same guns that he used in World War II. So I would have loved to meet him. He seemed to have been a cool mother. I would have liked to sat down and smoke a cigar with him. I debated Vegan Gains last month. I know he wants to debate me on Islam, so we'll eventually get around to doing that. Well, JMV, Lenny and Jay have to apologize, they owe apologies to, Andrew, to Dale, to Brad. I mean, it's just messed up. Oh, Jasmine ain't got no new boyfriend. Because they were tough, KCB. A lot of them also died very young too from those unfiltered cigarettes. I mean, look at John Wayne. Although John Wayne, he more or less died because him and all the other actors did that movie called The Conquerors, and they did it in an area to where they tested out atomic bombs. So just about all of them actually got cancer from it. But yeah, a lot of people died from those cigarettes, like Nat King Cole, for example. So, I mean, some of them are going to have good genetics there, but a lot of those people died from those unfiltered Luckies. But what can you say? That was a silent generation, and at that time, they're dealing with World War II and everything. They got the Korean War. No, they got a lot of stuff going on to where they are going to need a couple of unfiltered cigarettes. Did I work out today? No. Spent my time trying to get this internet up. But we will be working out tomorrow. She's probably tired from work and didn't want to go out on a movie. Nah, not on cigarettes. The biggest thing is people smoked a lot of cigarettes a long time ago because of the advertising. They advertise cigarettes to be healthy. A lot of people that fought in Vietnam are way up in age, so very few of them are going to be alive. Well, it's not all settled yet, JMC. They're wanting to hire me and everything. One of my friends of mine that works there referred me to them. So I still have to see what they're going to offer, but I'm going to need to pick something out eventually. That means that Jasmine's probably pissed at Richard for some reason. I wouldn't dwell on it too much. You have to, you know how women are. They change their mind and stuff. Why would I play cricket for? That's a British sport. That's a European sport. I think Nathan. Hey, Leafs, what's up? They just hang there. It's a good confidence booster when I go to work every day, Scatman. Well, cigarettes are very addictive. That's just the way it is. Some people will never change. That's just the way it is. Oh, yeah. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. That's just the way it is. Some people will never change. That's just the way it is. There. I need the hat? I got the hat somewhere. Hold on. See, I got the hat right here. Do. Aha, hat. Ugh. That better? Alright. Alright. I haven't bothered fixing them. No, I tried vaping. I didn't really like it too much. I could see why people like it for. It's not my generation. I like good old cigar. No, I wouldn't date him. I do like tearing up some butthole, you know. But I've already sowed my oats for this month, so don't have any real plans. Well, I wanted to get a fur coat to wear. I thought that would be pretty cool. This is a weird name for a person. Blanca Riley. Huh. Yeah, I'm using the Streamlabs app for this live stream. Hope you're doing well today. Appreciate all the help yesterday. I tried to get everything in, but if we had American workers working at Verizon instead of them switching over last month, I wouldn't have ran into the issue. Normally, I could have called them up and they would have been able to activate it. They didn't even know what the hell I was talking about. It's like I know what to punch in on the system to make my hotspot work, but, you know, I was unable to, and I couldn't really explain it to them because they spoke such bad English. Like I said, it was like talking to a rock. Very shameful. I'm pretty upset over the whole situation because that could have been preventable. I mean, I've always had this around. This is what I used for my old 4G router when I was working at Verizon. Yep, I'm trying to look like a pimp. If I was trying to really look like a pimp, I would turn my hat like this, you know, or dip it down like this. But pimping ain't easy. It's important to wear a hat in this type of weather. When it's all hot outside, oh geez. When it's hot outside, folks, you know, a hat will keep you cool. It'll give you a little bit of shade. Fur coats are pretty expensive. I mean, you're talking like $40,000 and stuff, you know, at this point. I mean, I've teabagged a couple of guys before, you know. Smacked them with my balls. Mr. White folks. Can't have too much shade. Well, I guess I take after good people's then. I don't know what McCuck's issue is with me. I really don't. Maybe he's just bored or something. That's my opinion. I don't have any real plans, that guy. That's, never say never, but it would have to, the chips would have to fall in place. No, those were just some big black hairy balls there, veganism. No Earl Grey or anything. I mean, my middle initial is E for Earl, so that tells you something. Well, Dragon, I'm already friends with John Bravo. I mean, I just spoke with him today. Let's hope Jay doesn't have one of those meltdowns. I did watch the clip. It's kind of sad what happened. Really is. Dang, Lenny only streamed for like 20 minutes. It wouldn't be worth it. I mean, McCuck is, I weigh like almost 100 pounds more than he does. And I'm a lot bigger too. Well, that I can give you, but I mean, we're talking about J Masters. Nah, not really. He's toned down a bit, but, you know. I mean, I probably do have more safety fat, but big is big. I can move faster than he can. Not really sure. Here's the thing about winning a fight. Winning a fight is more or less about throwing the first punch. You know, most people, they'll get nervous and they'll hesitate in throwing a punch. Me, if I know something's going to go down, I'm just going to walk up and punch the shit out of you, you know. People hesitate too much in fights. Me, I just go for it. You know, there's going to be some furniture moving. That's the way it is as a corrections officer. You can't hesitate, you know. Once you get into it, you got to fight, you know. Don't hesitate. Don't back down or anything. I think both of them two would hesitate. Me, wouldn't. If I know I'm ready to go and start putting some lights out, then, you know, it is what it is. Hey, Bug. Not quite yet. You know, he always looks styled like that there, KCB. I guess he wakes up and takes about an hour just to make sure he looks all right. Excellent hygiene, in my opinion. That's part of working in a prison, Scat Man. There's nothing really funny about it, you know. I guess it can be interpreted as funny, but prisons are a serious issue. You know, you go in every day, and it's possible that you may not walk home alive. Well, Gannon just had more heart than Kimbo. I've gotten into fights at gay clubs, but never a handbag. I laid somebody out in the castle and I threw someone in the dumpster, actually. Yeah, I threw this twink in the dumpster, a very annoying one. And he was outside and he kept yammering and he was drunk and everything, so I just picked him up and threw him in the dumpster outside of the castle. Castle was a gay club back in, that closed down in like 2013. But that's been a while ago. But I don't carry a handbag or anything. I carry a Euro bag, but I don't fight with handbags. I don't scratch or slap, I punch. I kick and punch. Prisoners know everything about you. They'll get your name, they'll get your phone number and everything. So yeah, they knew I was gay. Prisoners they have nothing else. They have 24 hours. They have nothing better to do. So they're going to know you from the get-go. Is White Castle racist? No, but they make some decent burgers. I mean, Quick Pump, it was interesting at first, but then once you've seen one titty, you've seen them all. Skylark, I try not to think about shit like that. I really do. But chances are, the minute that I probably, let's say I went and actually took him home to his house, the minute I would have smelled his apartment of dead and decaying flesh, that would have been the time I would have got the fuck out of there. But chances are I probably wouldn't have went home with him. But if I did, if you go into an apartment and smell dead and decaying flesh, it's non-negotiable. I wouldn't go in there. James, no links tonight because I am streaming from my phone, so we can't review anything. No data. We're all out. At least for the next 3 days. This is also a 2-hour live stream as well, so we'll be ending it at 10 p.m. I wouldn't date Asia. Or Asa. I can see how guys would go for someone like Jeffrey Dahmer. Especially if they're drunk. But like I said before, I guess they were so horny that they ignored the dead and decaying flesh. Yeah, that was from the movie Purple Rain, Quick Pump. I actually saw that. That came on network television. No, I never saw. That was before. That was after my time. Sky, I had Pugman donated 1,000 yesterday, and that's where I got the data from this and from the extra SIM card. The only problem is that I can't get any of it activated. Scatman, you try not to think about stuff like that, you know. Because that's happened to women. That's happened to straight men and stuff like that, where you get crazy women that's done killed guys and stuff. That guy, the jury is out on that. I do know that people that are in a very drunken state will say things that they probably wouldn't normally say. Aaron, all that money goes towards the stream. I usually put it to the side to pay for the streaming services and everything. But enough of this hat. Hemingway deserves to be trolled. I've had that trophy for 16 years. And I intend to keep it because it's the only thing I've ever gotten from bodybuilding. Alcohol and drugs, they'll make you say things that you really didn't mean to say. Well, he's obsessed with orc massages, and your title list is orc massage. That guy, I'm not even going to answer that. I mean, none of them are even attractive to begin with. Wouldn't date Brad, wouldn't date Andrew, wouldn't date Dale, wouldn't date Lenny, definitely wouldn't date Big Lenny or anything. Wouldn't date Genova or anything. The money goes back into streams and the equipment there. KCB, a lot of those bodybuilding shows are just giving out plastic squares. My mom watches Westerns, Quick Pump. She watches Westerns. She doesn't watch soap operas. She watches Gunsmoke, Rifleman, Wagon Train, and stuff. All she does is watch Westerns. And whenever I go over her house, I'll watch Westerns with her. Because I like watching Westerns. But that's all she mainly watches. Well, Aaron, with all the animals and stuff that he has to take care of, it probably goes into his household expenses. I don't know why Connor Murray does that. A protein shake is a shake. I've already answered that a million times. I wouldn't date him. I mean, he's my cousin. Why would I date a relative? Hunter Biden does too much cocaine. Chad, come on, man, really? Consider? And no, I wouldn't date Sean or Big Rob. My current training split's still the same, a full body workout 3 days a week. Tombstone's probably one of the greatest movies that's ever been made. Literally, hands down. I can watch Tombstone every single day. Every time I watch Tombstone, I catch something new in it. I hate Alpha Destiny. What's the best way to break even for the day in terms of calories in and out? If you really want to control your calories, you'll want to stick to protein shakes and stuff. But ultimately, just eat balanced. He's playing, Nico's playing in Korea right now. He's finishing, they're going to pay him $500,000 just to finish out the season. But he's in Korea right now. South Korea, playing. I mean, he only has to play a couple of games, and that's $500,000 easy. Val Kilmer should have gotten an Emmy for that. Heck, everyone should have. One exercise per body part. He's just annoying orc. Dragon, not all of them. If you get your stuff from True Protein, you can get a mix that doesn't have any sugar in it. I mean, your store-bought proteins are going to have sugar in it, but pure protein isn't. Yeah, Val Kilmer's dying right now. I mean, such a shame what happened to him. Well, Jasmine can't turn into a man. I mean, she identifies herself as binary, but you know, she ain't got no schlong or anything. She still has a vajayjay, I think. You know. Well, Andy, both of them are prisons. I would probably choose the posh part of North Korea as long as I didn't get killed or anything. But both of them are actually prisons. Mint Mobile's an online service. They've been sold to T-Mobile. Yeah, I've seen that Yuma movie. It's pretty good. Would I pity date Val Kilmer? No, but I would have a good dinner with him and pick his brain. But it would be something very casual. I don't think Sean would collab with me, and we don't really have anything in common. At least he listened to me and got in a new pan. Too bad he cooks like shit. But one thing I can give Sean G hands for is the fact that he takes care of his kid, you know. A lot of men don't go and take care of their kids and they run away from them. That's the thing about what made that's what made Jeffrey Dahmer so scary, you know. He was like Ted Bundy, an attractive person, someone that looked harmless, but yet committed such horrible acts. Hey, Kaizen, what's up? Yeah, Outlaw Star is awesome. I'm not big on calisthenics, and I can't do pull-ups. I can do dips, but pull-ups I'm just too heavy to do at this point. I'm sure Tom Cruise has been sucked off by another guy in his youth or so forth. I don't think he's taken it up the ass or anything. That's one of those things though where you're not really gay, you're just trying to get your rocks off, and a mouth is a mouth, I guess. When's the last time I smoked in my car? I usually don't smoke in my car. If I smoke in my car, it's going to be one of those little tiny ones, but usually I have the door open so I don't get burn holes in my car to begin with. Yeah, I heard about that. That horrible woman. Horrible. There's plenty of them wandering around today. There's plenty of serial killers wandering around. No, I wouldn't blast this back door open. He is pretty short, I mean, but like I said, a lot of these college students, their girlfriends are away, and, that gay little person will go and want to offer them something, and they contemplate, well, no one's going to know about it, and a mouth's a mouth, go ahead and suck on it or so. I've heard that story a lot. That happens a bunch. Yeah, Rip Bray Riot and Terry Funk. Not a good week in wrestling. But Bray, he had some serious health issues because he got the 19 and stuff, which really messed up his heart, and then finally it just gave out, Terry Funk, he had dementia for the past couple of years from all the bumps he's taken, so he finally passed away from that. But that's why Bray hasn't, or his real name's William Rotunda, part of that wrestling dynasty of Rotundas. But yeah, not a good weekend wrestling, but I don't think Terry Funk ever went to barber school. Is it ever difficult to be sexy? Girls look for personality. They don't look so much for looks or so. They look for high-value men. Now, if you have millions of dollars, I mean, you could be an 80-year-old fuck, and, you can have women just getting down on their knees for you. Money is attractive to most women. I haven't heard that quick pump. Yeah, Barry's had a few. It's just that Bray, that 19, it got him really bad the first time, and then he had a relapse, and then got it again early January. That's the whole thing. Even if you recover from something like that, your lungs are damaged, your heart's damaged already. You're going to see a lot more people dropping like flies from the whole thing. I don't have a favorite minority. Pugman, if I went back to Walmart, I would get paid like $13 an hour unloading trucks. Wes Watson would be considered that because he has a lot of money. But not in a good way, of course. Walmart actually pays more than a lot of places. Like Planet Fitness only pays their people like $9 an hour. But you're going to work pretty hard at Walmart. So the problem is, Pugman, is that the money that they'll pay you at Walmart is not going to be worth it. That's why people hate Walmart. Well, of course they do that, guy. They got to sow their oats, and if someone's old and fat, then they can't pleasure the woman. I mean, the woman's got to get her rocks off, too. My coworker hates me for no reason and comes up to me and whispers insults and tells me to hit him. I would still advise the manager of it, you know. Make sure you cover yourself first, so that way, once you've told him, if you do get into a fight, you can just simply say, well, I already told you previously that I was having problems with this person. Make sure you always cover your ass, or just tell your manager and then bust his ass, you know. And then that way you have collaboration. Pugman, don't apply at Walmart. I worked there before. It's a horrible place to work. I mean, people work at Walmart because a lot of times that's the only job they can get. You know, anyone can get a job at Walmart. You know, they'll give you a job just for filling out an application. And the reason being is because Walmart just has a high turnover rate because of it. I would not date Grant Cardone. Simply because, again, I can't date someone that's annoying. Would I ever go back to Taco Bell? No. I will not go back into any type of restaurant business or food. I never knew he had mumps, but mumps ain't gonna do much. The 19 is. Yeah, good idea, Pugman. I've done GHB before, but that was in the late 90s when I was doing types of drugs and stuff. That guy, you should get back to your workout. If a woman's really interested in you, they'll walk over to you and say, hey. What do I think of Jason Blaha? Narcissist. Has mental issues and stuff. Lenny could get a job at Walmart, but he wouldn't last too long. Why don't you guys stop hating on Jason Blaha and get a life? There you go. Well, that answers your question. If an employee threatens another with physical violence, you'll need to fire him and do it. No, that's still not a good idea. It's best to walk away from fights. You never know what someone's going to actually do, you know. There's been a lot of workplace shootings out there, KCB. It's always best to avoid confrontations here. Like I said, you can't fight a bullet, that's for sure. Lifestyle's one thing, Dragon. Again, I can't be around anyone annoying. Rahesh, I've timed you out because I can't deal with Blaha fanboys. I'll let you back in a minute. I wouldn't pay him anything. Oh, the high from GHB is great. Yeah, I knew back then. I went to gay clubs. Well, he was in the chat. I felt it was appropriate. Like I said, I don't like racists, and anyone that's going to defend him, ugh. And I'm already in a bad mood with Verizon anyway, so. No, it's a different feeling. GHB is awesome. It's especially good for sleeping. But you don't want to have alcohol along with it. Usually I would have GHB, and then I would drink a bunch of water. That's another thing. It makes you very thirsty. KCB, that lump is just he's just got poor genetics for arms. It's just his genetics. Well, it is euphoria. But I've taken both and they're not the same. Do I shed? No, I'm not a snake or anything or a reptile. Yeah, Blaha's a regular Walter Mini. James, there'll be plenty of mints coming along. There's always a new goof every day. No, I wouldn't go to the gym because I would get myself injured. If you're under any influence of anything, don't work out. That's a good way to get hurt. Well, quick pump, GHB is legal in other countries, just not in the U.S. If you go to other countries, it's on the shelf right next to the ephedra. James, I've not seen that yet. I'm a little behind on my Blaha videos. I've been so busy all week. I would go to Never Neverland, but I wouldn't never fuck him or anything. I mean, he's got a freaking circus, an amusement park, video games and stuff. You know. If I can do all that without taking it up the butthole, you know, I mean, that's perfectly fine. You know, but if I gotta pay for it like that, no. He's not gonna hee-hee with me. He's not gonna woo with me. He's not gonna shamon with me. Period. Probably Blaha, but that's not a very easy choice. I would collab with him for maybe 5 seconds and then I would just cut the thing off. Well, Scatman, considering the fact that Michael Jackson put himself to sleep with that Profanol, it would be pretty safe for me to sleep at night at Neverland. You know, but if I feel a little tickling behind me, you know, I'd wake up really quick. I would sleep with one eye open. They'll never legalize it again because any type of anything that interferes with the pharmaceutical companies, they're going to ban it. That's why I didn't like the whole thing with Blackstone. But I smashed Prince. Yeah, I'd probably be Prince. I wouldn't want to date that patchy muff. Yeah, but that's mainly cold medicine. It's not something you want to take a bunch of. If they have purifiedrin behind the counter, then hey, that works. Oh, good for you, Rahish. Athens, I see all of your comments. You may need to reset your stream or so. It may have cut out on you, but I can see all your comments. That's the thing. You don't really need to pay a coach or anything. Rahish, if you've never worked out before and you start lifting, powerlifting, or bodybuilding or so forth, you're going to get jacked anyway, regardless as to what you do. That's not the reason why we don't like him. I have no clue. I would have to see what he said. I'd have to see what McCluck was saying. He says something about me every day from what I understand. They don't work on Blaha because he doesn't have the genetics. He has very bad genetics. But at least he tries. I'll give him that. But he's still a racist piece of garbage. That's the difference, you know. When Lenny and Jay have said racist things, they were pretty much drunk and under the influence. Blaha, he means that stuff for real. You know. That's why I don't like it, because I know that when he says something racist, he really means it. Calls Arabs like Hajis or so forth. He has no right to use the word Haji. He was never in the military. That's a military term, you know. Not sure, James, not sure. You sure he's blasted through your plateaus? You sure he hasn't blasted out your colon or anything? You're free to pay him whatever you want. I wouldn't. So you can get better advice from powerlifting from a book. Sky, I don't know who him, but you'll need to be more specific who you're talking about. Rahish, I've never heard of an apology, but, you know, someone with values like that, you know, they don't usually change. And then there's the claims of him being in the military. You know, you can't change that neither. There are some things in life you simply can't apologize for, ever. The only way he can actually apologize is if he does it open and he apologizes for claiming to be in the military. If he apologized for claiming to be in the military publicly, okay, that's a real genuine apology. But I've not heard that at all. Trump is not 6'3", 215 pounds. That would make him a very elite athlete. You just can't put things together like that. But I mean, they didn't weigh him. They just took his weight pre-recorded. He said, I've never heard him say I never heard he apologize for that, ever. But again, that's not something you can apologize for. That's stolen valor. Who has more redeeming qualities? Probably Jay Masters. Because he has apologized for some of his behavior, literally. Not only that, he's been under the influence, so I can't put my finger as far as to what Jay Masters is, you know. The only time I've seen him say racist stuff is when he's been 3 sheets to the wind. Almost 4 sheets. Yeah, Trump's a tall person, I mean, but his family runs pretty tall. I mean, look at his son Barron. What is he, like 6'7", 6'8" or so? Oh, he can troll all you want. You just can't apologize for things like stolen valor and racism. You not only have to apologize for racism, but you have to take action in order to mitigate that. I wouldn't date anyone from the Trump family. And Trump Jr. does not exactly have a great work ethic. Spends too much time on YouTube and spends too much time on social media. Blaha is a mistake, you know. A mistake cannot correct another mistake. Gary Busey used to be handsome. Well, now he's all messed up. How is it stolen valor if he never claimed to be in the military? He did claim he was in the military dozens of times. He's also claimed to be a mercenary. He can be whatever he wants to be, that guy. Whether he's in his live. I never heard him claim he was a Secret Service. I've just heard the mercenary and the Army tales and stuff. But again, that's stuff he can't apologize for. It doesn't matter what he says. He can't apologize for stuff like that. And I don't accept his apology. And the military, you know, the people that got on him, they don't accept his apology. Man, that's the end of it. That's that, you know. Who the heck is Wilton? I don't know who that is. James, he didn't say that. Yes, Lenny definitely needs to apologize to Brad, but I'm not sure he would accept it at this point. Have I ever heard of redemption? There is a church called Redemption Outreach here in Greenville, South Carolina. So yeah, I've heard of Redemption. Isn't there a video game called Red Dead Redemption anyway? Like a Western game? Client Doug is a veteran. Well, good for him. There's millions of them out there. But I'm sure he's a vet. He can dance underwater and not get wet. He's probably a liar too. Best fried chicken fast food or not in your area? There's a restaurant in Spartanburg that makes really good fried chicken. That's whenever I eat it, but again, I rarely eat fried chicken. I've not eaten there in over a decade, and I was with friends. I will eat fried chicken if I'm hanging out with friends, but generally speaking, I hate greasy foods. If you don't need meat, why do I eat it? We do need meat. We need complete protein sources. And then there's things that are in meat that are not in plants. Human beings, ever since Unga Bunga Caveman, have needed complete sources of protein. If we didn't need meat, then we would not have the ability to digest it. But the truth is, the thing about it is, you can live without meat, but then in order to accomplish things like bodybuilding and stuff, you're going to have to take additional supplements. So it's not good to be on a diet in which you have to actually take supplements. If you're on an omnivore diet, there's no need, if you can balance it out to where you don't need supplements. In any type of vegan diet, you're going to need supplements regardless. Because you're going to have a deficiency. You're going to have a deficiency, Pugman, because plants don't contain everything that's needed in order to stay alive. That's why only 1% of the population in the world is vegan. Would I ever eat a chicken wing live? I could do that for Halloween, probably. If Blaha is racist, why is Chris Jones his friend? Maybe they're sucking each other off or something. I don't know. Can I eat KFC? Well, I did eat McDonald's on a live stream. I can do one of those food tasting things on a live stream. I've already done the Burger King. I already done the McDonald's one, Pugman. But I can do some food challenges. It ain't going to be no mukbang or anything. Because one thing about greasy food there, Pugman, the reason why I don't eat it is because generally speaking, it makes me sick. But we can do that on a live stream one of these days. Would you rather die or live by only eating by feeding tube? Death is permanent. Eating through a feeding tube, you have to understand this here, Dragon. Even if I was laid up in the hospital and I had no legs and no arms and I couldn't see, at least I can listen and speak to my family. Once you die, that's it. That's the end of things. So I would gladly accept a feeding tube rather than dying. I don't have an El Poco Loco around here, Pugman. Dragon, I used to work at Wendy's. That was one of my first jobs I had. So, yeah, I can eat everything on the Wendy's menu. I can't eat it in one sitting. No, gas station cigars are quite unhealthy. They got a lot of chemicals in it. Since I can't change your mind, I'll just pray for you and pity you. I hope you can get on with your life and find it in your heart to be kind to others. I am a kind person. I always believe that. But Rakesh, you have to understand one thing. I could see through bullshit, you know. I've never heard Blaha apologize, but even if he's apologized, it's all bullshit. Yeah, I would say so, Pugman. As far as directives are concerned, I like what I like, in other words. And I have to be open and straight about it. Unless you're talking to Rakesh, I don't think I think he's trying to defend. He's either trying to defend Blaha or he's just trolling. I think he's just trolling, to be honest with you. But the fact of the matter is, it's one thing to apologize. It's another thing to really mean it. I've had people apologize to me before, and I've either forgiven them, but usually you can look in someone's eyes and tell whether they really mean it or whether they're full of shit, you know. I wouldn't eat the whole menu. I would probably have something like a junior cheeseburger or something. James, he thinks I'm a vulture because I do live streams and I do videos and stuff. I don't know what that means, but you guys see how much I get from YouTube revenue, and it's hardly anything at all. Do I like breakfast from any fast food restaurants? I'm a big fan of brunch from the Broken Egg Cafe, and I love brunch. I like a nice Eggs Benedict on Sundays. That's one of my favorite things. I've not had brunch in quite some time because I've been trying to put back money. But I love brunch. But places like the reason why I don't like fast food is because, you know, it's poorly put together. I like having a good brunch or breakfast that's organized, that's well cooked, that there's been some time taken in order to make it good. Well, KCB, a lot has. There's no longer any Biggie Fries or Super Size. After that Super Size Me movie came out, you know, a lot of these fast food companies cut that stuff out. Cassidy Campbell, I don't have a reason to forgive him because I've never had a problem with him. Triple Baconator for us or a T-Rex burger. That is a lot of grease, Dragon. Do I have mimosas at brunch? Usually I just have a coffee. Mimosas at breakfast time, all you're getting is orange juice mixed with champagne, and they'll charge like $8 or $10 for it. I think it's a waste of money. I prefer having coffee. How do you think he had a massive heart attack? That's how he died. The COV messed him up, messed up his heart. He had caught it twice. So the COV was a contributing factor to his heart attack. Terry Funk, I would say that he had dementia. He had dementia for many years, so he just finally passed away from that. That's my guess. Natural causes. Well, that guy, as I mentioned before in previous streams, I think it's quite rude to film in a restaurant where there's other people around. I don't have an issue filming out on a public sidewalk because it's legal, but once you enter in a place of business or a private establishment, it's actually improper to film. No, I don't have a Roy Rogers down here. Well, it's not going to make a comeback in the South. It's pretty much closed on that. Why does he like to tell people that he's rich? There's a lot of people that like to brag about being rich and being wealthy and stuff. Wealth means nothing. People should focus on the happiness in life. That's where real wealth is. It's not from the dollar bill, but it's based upon your lifestyle. You know. One thing about being a multimillionaire, you have to work hard in order to maintain a specific lifestyle every single day. I'm running out of battery power. That sucks. Hang tight, folks. Gotta get juiced up. We got 13 minutes left, so. Jeez. There. This stream was about to die, folks, but we got about 12 minutes left, so get your questions in. James, I only got 2% battery life on my phone. I got 2%. I won't be able to stay on much longer. Dragon, there's Waffle Houses everywhere. No, I just added on extra streams, KCB. That happened. Out the heart. What is the chicken and biscuit chain like of? It would be Bojangles. That's the main restaurant. All right, Rahesh, don't let the doorknob hit you where the dirty dog should have bit you. Folks, we got 10 minutes left, so get your questions in. James, I got no battery life left. My phone is at 2%. I'm actually holding on to a power cord in order to keep this stream on. I got the phone plugged in now. That battery life went real fast. Debate him on nukes. Nope. We attacked you out of prejudice and malice? Nah, we attacked you because it's good mints. You want to know what else is good mints? That's good mints too. No, I'm afraid there's no reviews tonight because I have no data from my router. I mean, I do have data, but it's not moving fast enough to actually do it. It would freeze up like it was doing yesterday. And we certainly don't want that. Let's get a little music playing, and let's not forget the soul poet. We'll do a food review one of these days, Dragon. I can assure you of that. We'll do one of those food reviews. Pugman, we're not going to be able to run to midnight. My phone is dead. The only reason why it's working is because I'm holding on to the plug. That's a downside of streaming. That's the reason why I don't stream with my phone, Pugman. Because it really kills the battery. Because even with it plugged in, it's at 2% literally. So if I go and let this go, this phone is just going to die. Like I said, this has been probably a... Pugman, this has been a pretty piss-poor day. Couldn't get this activated, couldn't do practically anything. But all we can do in life there, Pugman, is do what's possible, you know? That's all everyone asks for, that's for sure. What's with all the black women eating cornstarch on Steams? Well, you have a good night, too. We had a lot of fun here, so... And like I said, I'm going to do a back-to-back, probably midnight run, probably Monday or Sunday or so. But we'll definitely get our React videos, folks. Rest assured. Well, KCB, I just need to get a longer cord. If I had that, then wouldn't have any problem at all. Alright, we got 5 minutes left. Get your questions in. And let's hope that I don't drop this cord. KCB, we're going to have to just call it a night. That's why it's named a Hodgepodge live stream. Because this is what I could put together. Well, it's unexpected things. No cord, no problem. I can reach for a longer cord, but if I do that, the stream cuts off. did you get back anyway? Here, let's have one last bit of mints before we go. What's up? Me and Vegan Games will debate in due time. You know, using that timeout sometimes is good mints. Alright, folks, 3 minutes left. Get your questions in. If y'all want to put something in the collection plate, you can do that. Dragon, I would never have the opportunity to debate Donald Trump. It would be possible, however, for me to debate Roger Stone. Sean G's biceps aren't too bad. They're not big or anything, but he's not wanting to be a bodybuilder. Do I consider Donald Trump I just look at him as a regular person. I don't look at him as being just white. I mean, I'm pretty much inclusive of I don't consider someone's race as anything. Not only in politics, but also in dating or any ways in life. It doesn't factor in for me as far as who I like in this life or anything like that. Well, yes, he has a torn one, but like I said, KCB, he's not training to be a bodybuilder, so I mean, having a torn left bicep is not going to really affect his calisthenics. I don't celebrate Black History Month. I think it's a waste of time. People should know their heritage, whether they're white, Irish, Scottish, or so forth. They should know their heritage 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Non-negotiable on that, folks. No, Justin, every day is American history, not Black history. When you say the word Black history, it's a separatist type term saying that only blacks matter in this world. That's my opinion of it. Alright, folks, it is 10 p.m. That is the end of the Hodge Podge live stream. I want to thank everybody for joining me. Tune in for the next live stream to where we will do react videos. You want to know why? I'll have my data back. So once again, folks, thanks again for joining me. And as always, peace and soul.